hope you're hungry, because we have an absolute scrum-diddly-umptious dip happening right now. And if this dip is surprising to you, then you have not been watching this channel for the last week. I 100% think that we are going to find support ultimately on this daily chart around this level, which is right about 42,000 US dollars. So I personally think if I had to answer early in the video where I think we're going to get an actual bottom of this current move, I personally think 42,000 is going to be the bottom. If you go to the weekly chart, that is also exactly where our big key fib level is too. So again, 42,000 lines up with this macro chart, this weekly chart, and on this daily chart, right about 42,000. But I personally think this trend for now is going to be to the downside. Very similar, guys, to exactly what we talked about back here. So ultimately, I think that we could see more downside here. Ultimately, I think, again, 42K is a really good bottom area, in my opinion, because what we want is we want to see $100,000 plus Bitcoin. We want to see a $300,000 plus Bitcoin. And the best way to attain that is to have real pullbacks, real follow-throughs that could, they could take a week. They could take 3-4 weeks. But that's much better long-term than if we just, pumped new all-time highs tomorrow. That next level is right down exactly at about 42,000 US dollars, which is a level that I've been talking about for a few days now. So trend is your friend, and at this point I would recognize this trend as more of a downtrend that we've been in for just even just a few days. So it's really early in the trend, but in my opinion this trend has now shifted into a downtrend, and I think it's more likely that we continue down over the next few days until we get a confirmation that we're actually going to break up, which, again, looking at this chart, I don't see any of that just yet. But in terms of Bitcoin, for me, this is a perfect topping out point in the short term. Again, if we look on this weekly chart, we came within $1,000 or $2 of our midterm Fibonacci target on this macro chart, this weekly chart. So again, it makes perfect sense that we can continue consolidating maybe for just another week or two here. And what that means is continued downside, right? As I'm recording the video, we broke back below 49,000. Still not super significant in terms of a pullback, but yeah, in my opinion, I think the momentum is shifted in the short term to more of a downtrend, and we ultimately need to find a real bottom, and I just don't think we've found it quite yet. I think that over the next week we are going to probably see some lower prices, and exactly the price that I'm looking for a bottom is in that $40,000 to $42,000 range for Bitcoin. And that would ideally be, let's say we did go all the way down to 40K, would be exactly about 30% pullback, which is what we saw last time, so that's absolutely normal. And coming down to about 42K would be around a 25 to 27% pullback as well. Being below this 21-day is a bearish sign in the short term, and especially going into the weekend. You never know, weekend price action's a little bit crazy. I don't think this pullback is done just yet. We have not had any confirmations in my book, guys. Remember, I definitely think that it is possible we could actually have that last final push down to about 42,000. Really, the range I'm looking at is between 40 to 42,000 US dollars. Anywhere in there where I think we might get a quick wick, but again, this could play out over a few days. This isn't guaranteed to happen within the next 24 hours. Again, our breakdown target is going to be in that wide range of about 40,500 to about 42,000. So absolutely critical that Bitcoin holds that level. There has been nothing that I can see that is showing us that we're going to reverse to the upside just yet. And in fact, we've already made the case why it's better if Bitcoin does not reverse to the upside just yet and just follows through with its dumpage. Goo goo gaga, but the question is now, what do we need to watch for, and when should we start shaking and quivering in our boots? I'm your host, Duncan Dump Truck, and on this channel, we like two things: massive dumps and massive dumpers. But guys, we have a lot to be jumping into with Bitcoin because we're having some pretty quick dumpage that has been culminating for the past few days. It's been pretty expected, it's been very clear if you watch some of these momentum indicators and just the overall movement of the chart. So this was very, very expected. However, now we're coming to the absolute climax, and the question is now, will we hit our target? Will we stay exactly where we are, or is it possible that we actually drop a little bit below our target? Absolutely insane. If you guys want to make sure you always get up-to-date, absolutely time-sensitive, critical information, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications if you're a true savage and a little bit of a dippage is not something that you're afraid of. Let's jump in. Dump on me, guys. So taking a look at this weekly chart, that is absolutely quite a pretty big red candle we see right here. 57,000 all the way down to our current low of about 43,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. Look at that massive red candle. So If we take a look here, it's not even yet 30%. Even after all of this, it's roughly about 25%. 30% pullback would put us right at about exactly 40,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. Now, if we go back to our last dump that we saw in January, from the very high to the very low, keep in mind, this is accounting for wicks. This was about 31%, a 31% drop. If we discount these wicks on the weekly, it was about 16. So for the most part, this dip was within a 16% drop for the most part, but we did have those little dips, those little candles as well. But as you can see, our dip this week began literally as this weekly candle started. So it was like Sunday night last week, and now it's Sunday, so we're going to be getting our weekly candle close very shortly. But if we continue dropping here for the next few hours, this entire candle or the entire drop will be represented in a candle and have no wicks. We opened this thing up, this weekly candle, and immediately started dumping, and it's been straight dumpage the entire week. This entire week has just been dumpage after dumpage. And if we go to this daily chart, that is exactly what you would expect to see on this daily chart. Okay, you go back exactly a week, was our very last green candle, except for this little itsy bitsy one right here. But yeah, you go back exactly a week, and this entire week, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, has just been dumpage. And you can see where we're holding support right now. Again, one of our key lines, if you've been watching this channel for a while, you know this channel goes back about 12 months now. But yeah, that's where we're holding support now. Like I said, though, I personally think we are going to be hitting our 50-day moving average target of about 40,000 to 42,000, or 40,500 to about 42,000. Been pretty consistent with that. I've been saying that exact target for the past week, as you saw from all of the clips I've played over the last week. So if we take a look on the short-term chart, guys, yeah, still looks very bearish to me. I see no indications of a reversal at all yet. We have not gotten above our very short-term moving averages even on this hourly chart. We just get rejected consistently. You can see that here on the 21 and 50 moving averages here on this chart. Clear rejections. Same exact thing here. It's even more rejected, or even more rejections here on the 4-hour. We barely even get up to this 21. We have once, and that was back 3 days ago, and we immediately got rejected. And ever since then, we haven't even been able to touch on this 21 on this 4-hour chart. Same thing here on the 6-hour chart, same exact thing. You notice, though, our key fib level on each of these charts next is around that $42,000 level. On the 6-hour chart, down here, this one's about 41.5. Basically same target, though. That's why we have that 40.5 to 42K range. And again, this one's exactly 42. If we go to the daily chart, we already looked at this, but you see where we're holding right now, very key. 50 days is going to be the big one. But yeah, if we switch to this chart, this perfectly represents my key range here, 40,500 to about 42,000. Now, guys, again, I've been saying this for a week, so I don't want to just keep repeating myself this entire video. But what are the chances that if we do break below this 50-day, could we go any lower than that? And if we did, what would that mean? And guys, worst case scenario for me, if we did break below that, I personally think we're going to get significant closes at the very lowest between 40.5 and 42K. So 40,500 and 42,000. But if we did break below that, I think it would be a very quick wick, and the lowest target that I'm looking for is going to be in the range of about $36,000 to $37,000 per Bitcoin. Okay, that's one of our next big fib levels. If we go to this daily chart as well, it is our next big level of support right here, about that $37,000 range. And yeah, if we switch to the weekly chart, it was the last time that we had significant closes, weekly closes here, and it's right around that $37,000 range, a little above it, a little below it. But 36 to 37,000, in my opinion, is the lowest that we could wick with this move. Now again, anything could happen. Let's actually say that the DXY over the next week continues pumping and it just starts exploding. And let's say that combined with maybe other factors, Bitcoin actually does go lower. Then we could start getting bearish, guys, because I've remained extremely bullish on this channel long term, even though I've been saying for the entire week that we were going to keep pulling back. That's all in the wider context of it being bullish. So even though I say we're in a pullback and we're going to keep hitting lower prices, like I've been saying, that's bearish in the short term, but ultimately I'm not bearish in the long term. I still think Bitcoin's going to hit $100,000 within the next few months. But the thing is, guys, if we actually do break below this 50-day, if we break below this $36,000 to $37,000 range that I just mentioned as well, if we actually break below those levels and actually get daily closes below them, then we need to reevaluate, because then things could get pretty messy. The very first pullback we saw of this bull market just last month was only about 30%. And yeah, if we got that again, a 30% would pull us down to about roughly 40K exactly. But if we really start breaking below that, then we need to be careful, because again, that's when I would start getting bearish. Some people might be commenting, well, you're always bullish. Well, I'm telling you now, I wouldn't be bullish if we broke below 36 or 37,000 and got 1 or 2 daily closes there. Then I would start to be concerned. So for me, that's the exact target that I would be concerned in the short term, over the next few days, if we do hit that target and we don't see a clear reversal indicator. Because again, we haven't seen any clear reversal indicators just yet, in my opinion. There's been no increase in volume. Let's pull up the volume on this chart as well. On this weekly chart, yeah, nothing super significant either, indicating reversal. So again, I think it is possible. Like I've been saying for the past week, 40 to 42K we have to watch out for. But as long as we hold above 36 and 37 at the very lowest, like if we get a wick down there, then again, ultimately I think that's bullish for Bitcoin and there's nothing to worry about. But yeah, other than that, there's nothing else for me to really update. I've just been consistently saying the same thing for the past week, and I've kind of repeated myself too much, so I'm going to stop saying the exact same thing every single day until we hit that target. So yeah, guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that like, make sure to subscribe, turn on those post notifications so you get updated when we post these absolutely time-sensitive, critical updates. And if you're interested in trading, make sure to take advantage of our Bybit and Mix deposit bonuses below. Never trade more than you're willing to lose, and I would never recommend trading unless you have experience trading already, and as well as if you want to support the channel. But I'm really interested to see if Bitcoin can bottom out here, or if we are going to be dipping our toes a little bit lower. But that's it for me. Bye-bye!